tuned for sports.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean.
It is Sunday, October 5th. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
That's good. I was just making sure you shook off like some sporting events this week. If I was checking in on you, make sure you're okay.
No, I'm doing all right with it.
with
I mean,
that.
I know myself going in with it. I mean, it was a long season. I got to be honest with you, there was a part of me that was a little bit not relieved because I never want to lose, especially to your Yankees, but I just felt like it was grueling. You know how much I put into it, probably.
Yes.
Like, as if I'm acting like I played. I mean, I can barely make it through the season with the Hurricanes in the Rima League, but no, I just felt like it wasn't meant to be. And when you look back on it and you see that, like, obviously the Sox could have grabbed that in two.
Yes.
That could have been a sweep the other way, and Boone would be fired today probably. But
I hope he gets fired anyway, no matter
the
what
dynamic
happens.
changes so much because actually he managed pretty well in Game 3. It's all about your last day, and right now the Yankees move on. But no, I'm doing okay. It's officially football season, as you can see. I got the Pats gear on.
Yes, let's talk about that because we're back on YouTube, by the way.
I've never worn this, have I?
No, I love the old Pat Patriot.
So I've got this one on a hanger inside the closet. Also, there's a Bruins shirt that's similar to it that I think I bought in like that 47 place that
47 brand.
I don't think that's there in the. Oh, I'm sure you can order online. That's out for me. They had the store in the Providence Place Mall. I don't think it's there anymore because I tried all 3 floors, see if it moved maybe. But I haven't even worn the Bruins.
You can totally
one yet.
tell that's 47 brand.
So when the Bruins season starts, I'm going to wear the Bruins one.
Good.
I've had it like 7 years. It's brand new. Never worn it.
This is a Bobby Simone statement.
And I just feel like right now, with the Red Sox losing, it's officially football season for me. And I feel like it's okay because the Pats are 2-2 after a decent September. Not great, but okay. 2-2.
No,
I told you 2-2. We have a season, and I believe we have a season. Even if they falter in Buffalo tonight, there's hope.
Oh my God! Well, if you look at the rest of the schedule, I think we'll be in pretty decent shape if we played like we played against Carolina. But other than that, I'm trying to think of anything. Have you listened to the new Taylor Swift album?
What?
Kind of a big deal.
How many albums
she
does
does
she
a
have?
song about Travis Kelce's manlyhood.
It's terrible.
It's called Wood.
And
I'm not making it up. It's actually a good song. We can't play it here, but I'll play it for you off the air. Anything else? Any highlights to your week or no?
Nah, nothing. Well, I mean, obviously, Christian's going to Italy for a wedding next week, so I'm going to be on phone.
This guy's all over the place.
Yeah, I'm going to be on. We went to the second game, the middle Yankee game. He was at, so I had to do phones that day.
Oh, wow.
Actually, it ended up being a funeral. I ended up working a funeral, so that's triple the money. I went from working phones, which was a favor, to like all of a sudden, if you book a funeral, I don't get the money for the phones, but I get the,
I know, but that's
I make triple cheddar, but someone bought the farm.
And someone,
what am I going to do? It's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
And I'm not saying the person wasn't popular, but they showed up 10 people. I felt bad for the theater.
Maybe it was a really old person. All their friends are dead.
They said 89, and then the girl who booked the thing said we were told that we had a 30 minimum, and they, so they get to take the gift certificates and some dinners to go. But I'm saying like they showed up 10. They were just happy to be their little group, and it was just an easy one for me.
Yeah.
So
you can handle 10. No
that
problem.
was a W for me.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well.
Not a good one for the Trot, but Trot took the hit on that one. But you know what? Sometimes I work real hard and the numbers don't add up. But this one worked in my favor.
Okay.
But that was the highlight of my week. And then it went sideways. Then it went sideways for the Bo Sockers. But life is good. We're here, and physically I'm kind of I don't know. I'm kind of back to that little. And of course, 2 weeks ago before Arizona woke up Sunday or after my run on Sunday with 10 on Sunday, I've got that little issue right near the groin area again. It just continues. Yeah.
You need someone to help you out with that.
What?
Maybe on Tuesday. All right.
So no, I think I got to work Tuesday. I'm bogged down. I'm in the dining room. No.
You got to stretch, bro.
I'm gonna take that. I got that massager. I'm gonna use that.
Okay,
not
we're
the
gonna stop.
Not the female version of the.
Okay, we're gonna get into our show. I got nothing for you. There's nothing happening. I'm still fighting a cold. Little Jess has one, and it's because of me. Do we want to do corrections now at the top of the show since we probably had 2 FCC violations?
Yeah.
Last week.
Yes.
All right. So we were talking about the rookie. Patriots Yankees pitcher who pitched in Game 3,
who was phenomenal. Yes.
Schlittler.
Yep.
And last week on our show and on our podcast, you lost the L.
The L wasn't in there. Yeah.
And then you were adamant about saying that it was his name. And I'm pretty sure I said there's a person.
But don't you think it's ironic? And I think it's only because he had this legendary outing on Thursday night, 12 Ks in 8 innings. We'll get into it in baseball. But all of a sudden, you're seeing all the posts and all the quotes. Schlittler happens and this. It's catchy because obviously everyone's saying it's just like what.
Yes.
So I wasn't far off, but I did realize. I did realize that there was an L in it. And then you sent me the voice version of it, and you misspelled it in the both voice versions. I know. Well,
I don't spell it in the voice. Did. Yes, the phone does
it
that.
confused me.
Yes.
And by the way, I didn't know how to put. I kept pressing the button because I know you had video audio on that.
Yeah.
But I had the volume on the left down, so I kept pressing the button. I was aggravated because it wasn't working. But I figured.
And who knew that you would say his name right?
I figured out. By the way, we will get into it in baseball. I still think it's a nice story, even though obviously it sent the Red Sox home. But the kid's a Massachusetts kid, and he had to obviously convert his whole family to Yankee fans because they grew up in Walpole.
Yeah.
So they were all Red Sox fans. So now they're strictly definitely Yankee fans now. But good story for the Yankees and for Schlittler.
There you go.
Difficult to say, and he is terrific. I'm already looking at the future because the Red Sox are done for the year.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the future. I'm like, geez, I know they got Cole coming back next year, and they've got Fried and Rodon. But this kid's he's not a number 5 starter going forward. This kid's a front of the rotation guy. But if he is there 4 or 5, look out for them going up, the next 5 or 6 years. Wow. He's terrific.
He was really, really good, and I was concerned about it because of his age and how new he was. But he delivered. Actually, I think both rookies did a good job. Even Early looked good.
He looked 23. The Reds, Conley Early looked 11. But I mean, they had Mo, Larry, and Curly in the field. It was a little difficult. They didn't help him out, but he was definitely hit the wall the second time around. But we'll get into it.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's just get into our NFL season. Let's go.
I feel like it's the same. I always feel like they always have a good defense. People kind of, say this, that, and the third about them, but I've watched them and I've been a part of that team for a while. And, seeing them, they're sound. They're going to fly around and, they got guys on the back end that are extremely smart. They keep some active corners, like some guys that like to play aggressive, some guys that don't. And that interior, Ed Oliver is a game record if you let him. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got some guys on the end. So, they just always had a good team, and it's a really good coach team. Shout out to Sean McDermott. So for me, I don't think it's nothing new as far as this year. They're going to be coached well. Yeah. It's going to be a test for us. I look forward to it.
So before we talk about Carolina, I just want to throw in Diggs, obviously playing for Buffalo before, just kind of doing that was Diggs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He was talking about the defense, and I think he's going to want to show something tonight, especially since he and Josh Allen, I don't think towards the end, got along very well. So I feel like he has something to prove.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, the timing of it's pretty good because I'm not saying he had a breakout game, but he got to 100. Just sounds better than 96. Yes. But he had 6 catches for 101 yards. He had a really nice game, and there were a couple of catches there where my brother looked at me and was like, "Yeah, he's different than other receivers." You see it.
Yeah.
It's the Antonio Brown thing. Some guys, you can say what you want about them off the field, but when they're in between those lines, 100 yards,
talent.
It's just something different about the way they run the routes, their footwork, and Diggs has it. So 6 catches for 101 yards. This is going to be fun, Jess. And I think Diggs did mention Ed Oliver, who's questionable in this game with injury, along with Matt Milano, who's kind of always hurt, it seems like. But they've got enough talent. Obviously, Buffalo's good. And I told you when we did our Pro FM segment and off air about the Pats the last few years, as bad as they've been, they've had some real competitive games down in Buffalo. Maybe they didn't come out with the result they wanted in all of them. They were up 14-0 last year, and I don't think they were ever up 14 on anybody.
I can't believe they had 14 points.
That day they were, and they ended up losing the game at the end, and Buffalo won the game going away. But I think if you continue to take care of the football, I say continue, it's one game against Carolina, a bad team. But if you can take care of the football, I like their chances to at least keep this game really close and see what happens late in the fourth quarter. I think the Patriots are ready for this game. I think that was sort of like a nice little warm-up against Carolina. Obviously, you saw how bad they were, but they had just beat somebody 30-0 the week before. So it's the NFL, and anything can happen on a given Sunday. I love what Drake May did against Carolina. 14 for 17, very efficient, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 1 with his legs. The Patriots couldn't have played any better in this game. Marcus Jones was electrifying on punt returns.
Oh, yeah.
He had 1 for a touchdown and another one where he just got tripped up and almost took a second one to the house. So the Patriots got it done in all 3 facets. It's going to be a different, talent level they're going to face against Buffalo on Sunday night, but it's fun to have that 8:20 start on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be exciting to watch, and obviously we'll talk about the spreads later. I will mention that, Buffalo has won 14 in a row at home. So just keep it competitive. I know we would never say this before when we had Tom Brady. It's just like, we got to go in there to win. I just want to see what they can do against a good team, because if you think about the rest of their lineup for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the Chargers and who else? Like they're gonna roll.
But just think about it, just the difference of winning. I'm just saying it was Carolina, but to win and be 2-2 after a month, psychologically, such a difference from 1-3, Jess. Because now you're not expecting to beat Buffalo. So now you're looking at, all right, now it's 1-4, and then now you got to hear Dean talking about draft picks again.
Yeah.
But at 2-2, now you lose Sunday. Even if it's close, it's 2-3. You go to New Orleans. Now I expect to win against New Orleans. I need that road victory. So if they can steal one here, that would be. We need a signature one before the season's over. If you're going to have a season or even a chance to maybe snag a wild card, you're going to need 1 or 2 signature wins. Which to me that means games that you feel like, all right, going to put it in the L column and then you steal one. This would be one that you could circle and say a big one.
All right, very good. And I feel like, I don't know, this could be a signature game for Drake May. Like you said, he had a great game. I think what was his quarterback rating? Like 130 something or
156.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are talking and they know the talent is there. Like you've said, he has all the measurables. I think today will be a big test if it is a close game and it is towards the end, the 5-6 minutes left, what he can do. Because I think, granted, it was Carolina and they won handsomely, but I want to see him in a close game. And I think this is going to give us the closest competition.
I agree with you. And by the way, not to keep hopping back to the Carolina game, but there were 2 plays he made that I just believe the play where he rolled out and I think ran it in from 10 yards.
Yeah.
There wasn't much room there. I'm telling you, he's just got something there's maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Josh Allen's one. There's only a couple of quarterbacks in the league that are making that play. Maybe Hurts, but he's got something there. And then that play where he rolled left once again and looked like Hunter Henry was like not too far from him, maybe like 3, and he kind of like that's a nice touch play. That's not a long, And then of course, I don't know how Henry did it, but he took it down the sideline for 30, kept his feet in. That was a nice play. Those kind of go under the radar, but they're going to need more of that. And like you said, the whole thing going against Josh Allen, I know they say you don't go against the quarterback because you're not on the field at the same time, but these are the games, these are the marquee matchups that if you're going to take the next step, at least in the division, to separate maybe or to get a little bit away from Miami and the Jets, this is a big one right here, and it would be a nice victory for the Patriots. Like I said, I'm not picking them in this game. You said what, 8.5 is the spread? That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
I think the Pats are going to keep it close. I'm picking Buffalo to win the game, unfortunately, but it's going to be. I hope it's a good one.
Do you think Drake May's favorite receiver is, or favorite person to throw to is Hunter Henry? Because I do.
Yeah, I mean clearly, and of course Hooper had 1 catch, but it was a nice one down the sideline for 24, I believe. So the tight ends have been fine. I don't know if I'd agree with that. I agree with it right now as we sit here. I think it will be Diggs when it's all said and done. He's starting to get more acclimated to the offense. You saw it the other day. He knows where to find the seams in the defense. Oof. He sees what Carolina plays a lot of zone defense. He knew how to find the little soft spots in the zone. I think going forward, just the fact that Diggs played week 1, he's got 4 games under his belt. This could be a big one for Diggs. I'd like to see him get in the end zone. That would be big for him against his old team.
Actually, let's hear more from Diggs.
For me, it's obviously real sentimental. I spent a lot of time there. I'm real familiar with the staff and familiar with the guys there. So the guys that I did maintain a relationship with, I'm looking forward to seeing them. But it's going to be a little bit emotional. I'll try to keep the main thing. But it's my first time back there. It's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. I was a part of that for a long time. I played there before I got there. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to see if Cardi B shows up. She and Nicki Minaj are in a big fight, just so you know.
Oh, drama off the field. Jess, you know what else I was happy about too? And I believe it's not unblemished, and it's not to say that there's no injuries. Every team's got injuries every week.
Yep.
But you're a month into the season, 4 games in, you start this, this voyage with Buffalo starting tonight at 8:20. And I'm looking at the team and I'm saying, so far, knock on wood,
yes,
no major injuries. Now, guys are banged up. Jalen Hawkins, the safety, who obviously they went this direction. They got rid of Peppers. He's kind of banged up with a hamstring injury. Hey, you know what? If he can't go, maybe that gives Duggar another chance. Doug is getting $15 million. Use the guy. You got to play him at some point. So there's some guys that are banged up a little bit. Carlton Davis is questionable. You just got Gonzalez back, who played pretty good. He's going to shut half the field down, even if he's 90%. And of course, you've got Milton Williams, the guy they gave $100 million to, the down lineman, the defensive tackle. He's questionable also, but nobody's actually doubtful in this game. Their core guys are all healthy and pretty well, willing to go here.
All right, very good. Is there anything you want to talk about? Besides, we did talk about, I think we covered everything. We talked about Carolina. We talked about tonight, the Bills. Drake May's progression as he is getting better.
Yeah.
each game. But again, this is probably going to be the toughest competition.
I think I told you like last week, we needed a win against Carolina. And I said, we need a convincing win. I didn't want to see a 12-10 game.
Right.
I think they need to beat somebody and beat somebody up. And I didn't think they'd blow anybody out this year, but that was what you needed. And Drake May kind of controlled that. And I'm definitely seeing a lot to like about him. You cut back on the turnovers. This is going to be a big one. They need a 3, 4, 5 game stretch where forget about the wins and losses. Just turnover-free football. You win the turnover battle. I think you're going to win more than you lose.
All right, we're going to thank our sponsors, and we're going to come back with our picks of the week.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org. No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave in Johnston, and at neautobody.com. All right, before we get to our Week 5 pick sheet, we got to talk about, I said sheet, we got to talk about San Fran at the Rams, which, I mean, basically it's the same. I mean, it's LA. So it's like San Fran. Well, I think there was a lot of San Fran fans in the crowd. Mac Jones starting this one. And I cannot believe the Rams lost. The Rams were giving 49ers 7, and they ended up losing by 3 in overtime. I didn't watch much of the game. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I watched it and I'm like, they're down, but they'll win. Stafford's good. Puka Nacua, they'll figure it out. Their kicker missed, and it would have been over if he hit that earlier in the game. I just can't, again, and I've said it before, I can't stand Mac Jones's face, and I can't, he goes down as if he gets shot, like he's getting killed. And he's like, I'll just fight through it and I'll come back up.
You and I said this
He's playing good.
You and I said this 3 years ago when we started. Just the voice alone, we can't buy into. We just picture him talking to the players in the locker room, trying to control it, and I just don't feel it. And he goes to the podium after the game with a two-tone suit, half black, half red. It was brutal. But Jess, I mean, obviously I didn't see this line. I was on the Braga Bridge at that time after the Sox got blinked, and I didn't have Amazon anyway, so I had to kind of go back. I had to go back and look at the highlights and Jeez, Jess, I mean, 342 yards.
I know.
2 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, 142 of those yards were to former Patriot bust Kendrick Bourne.
He dropped a couple, too.
Yeah,
I saw him drop 2 when I was watching.
He had 10 receptions. I'm just saying. I mean, is it me or does it just seem like, and I'm not blaming the Patriots. I mean, all these guys that are gone now, you wouldn't want Mac Jones back.
No,
right?
100%.
I don't think you'd want Kendrick Bourne back either.
I would have him before.
I get it. But they're flourishing, though, isn't it? I mean, Tyquan Thornton's catching balls.
Yeah, I know. He's in the end zone.
I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster in Kansas City. Not that he's burning us, but like these guys shouldn't even be on rosters, but yet they're kind of doing well since they've left the Pats. Did you see the picture?
No, I'm looking at him doing like the stupidity. I can't stand. Please stop.
The bottom line is I would have taken Sean McVay in that game. Obviously, we don't pick the Thursday night game. We do our show.
Yeah.
But they're 4-1, San Fran. Without,
I can't believe it.
They didn't have Bosa on defense. They don't have Kittle on offense. They don't have Ricky Pearsall, the second-year kid who got shot last year and came back.
Well, who cried less than Mac Jones not getting shot.
But I'm just saying, like I told you off here, I'm like, all right, okay, maybe Mac's serviceable if you put everything in front of him. Well, he doesn't have everything around him.
He has Christian McCaffrey. That's all he needs.
Come on, I knew you say that. You're right.
That's all you need is Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry. If that guy goes down, they're not winning anymore. I'm telling you, he's the best.
Oh, Christian always comes back to McCaffrey.
My friend Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Big
all right.
time in it.
Yep, that's it. All right, so that was the Thursday night game. Let's get into the games of today. Starting at 1:00, we have Minnesota. Actually, no, they're on now. I can't stand these.
Yeah,
I mean, I love having football in the morning. Don't get me wrong, but now I'm like missing it. Minnesota and Cleveland, they're in London today, right?
So did Minnesota play Pittsburgh in London?
Yeah, they stay there.
That's kind of weird.
Did you see how? What's his name? The quarterback.
Carson Wentz?
Nope. Is there a Skylar
He got
Thompson?
mugged.
Yeah, look what the heck is happening in Dublin.
It's the best thing that's happened to him since he's got.
That's the first news
first time
story.
he made the news. I mean, Skylar Thompson, the former Miami backup, got mugged in minor injuries, I guess, huh? Boy,
Man,
some
what
trip.
the hell is happening? I know, seriously. You go there for work and you get beat up and robbed. All right, so you have Minnesota and Cleveland playing right now. Obviously, without looking at the score, because Minnesota lost last week, I'm going with them. They're getting 3.5 for Cleveland. Cleveland's getting 3.5.
Yeah, so of course, Wentz is at quarterback. We don't really like him. We think Minnesota has the better team here. And of course, Joe Flacco has been benched in favor of former Oregon left-handed quarterback Dylan Gabriel.
I thought when they were going to talk about that was going to be Sanders, but
yeah.
Okay.
So obviously he said going into the season the pecking order, and it was Gabriel ahead. They drafted Gabriel ahead of Sanders. That doesn't mean
obviously
that
everybody
be the guy.
was
Yeah, that doesn't mean that he'd be the guy. But I don't know how I feel about Gabriel. I watched him in college. I did see him in a preseason game, which you don't put much stock into, but I saw him take a 2-minute drill down the field. He looked pretty good.
Okay.
So we're going to find out here. I'm going to take Minnesota in this game, though.
Very good. We have Houston at Baltimore. Baltimore is banged up. That was a terrible game. Who are they playing? Kansas City.
Yeah.
That was high school-esque.
And it
I
always,
don't know what the hell
bothers
happened.
me. First of all, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but it always bothers me when a play, like I think it was last year, like Dallas was getting smoked in a game, and Prescott went down with a quad injury, and they're like, "Well, Dak Prescott got hurt." Yeah, you were getting smoked before he got hurt. Same thing here. Lamar, he looked terrible. His throws were bad. He didn't look decisive in the pocket.
No.
He didn't look actually that great coming out of the pocket either. And he's out in this game, and it looks like he's questionable. If he doesn't play with the hamstring injury, it's going to be the immortal Cooper Rush.
Oh boy. Well, Baltimore is getting 2.5 at home. I am going with Houston. I don't feel good about Baltimore, which then it still perplexed me. I know Worthy was back, and I mean, even Thornton, like you said, showed up for Kansas City, but give Derrick Henry the ball and just have that beast run. Like, I don't understand why they were getting rushed so often that he didn't have the time to throw.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought it up. I think they interviewed Harbaugh at halftime, and they only got like 2 questions. And I think the first thing they said was, you only gave the ball to Henry 4 times. And that's not going to get it done. I don't think it's because he fumbled a couple of games ago. He's your guy.
Right.
You got to stop pounding the pigskin, and Henry's the guy to do it with. On the other side, you're taking Houston. I don't think you love Houston either, Jess,
I don't.
because the way they
Stroud
play
does not play well at all.
And
lately.
I studied the injury reports this week. They've got a MASH unit. I saw a list that was like a laundry list. So they've got a lot of guys hurt. Joe Mixon hasn't played yet this year. They're just not the same team. I'm going to have a hard time picking this one. I'm just going to defer to you. I don't really like either team in this game.
I don't either. I mean, and the other thing with Baltimore having all the weapons, like they have Bateman still. They have Andrews still.
The little short slot
they
kid
have
Flowers out of Boston College.
So I don't know what happened last week.
They had some guys out on defense. Marlon Humphrey was hurt. Former Patriot linebacker Kyle Van Noy didn't play in that game.
Correct.
But I know what you're trying to say. You're not even that impressed with Kansas City at this point.
Yeah.
But they laid the wood, and that's why you can never rule them out.
I know you were right on that last week. Honestly, I feel like I should go with Baltimore getting 2.5, but I think I'm going Houston. I just think that they I don't know. I think they need a win, and I think they can do it. So that's why I'm sticking with Houston.
Okay.
All right. So we got Miami at Carolina. Carolina only getting 1.5. Tyreek Hill is a hurting, and he's not going to be coming back this season.
No.
I refuse to watch his leg get turned the other way. But it's odd to me that he was smiling when he left the field, and a lot of people saying he's smiling because he's never had to catch another pass from Tua Tagovailoa.
That's a good point. I mean, we're joking here, but I mean, I think last week I picked the Jets in that game.
Me
I thought
too.
they'd get off the schneid. They
They're
didn't.
terrible.
So I'm going to say that McDaniel. I'm not saying they're going to get rolling here, but they're at Carolina, and I think Miami gets another victory here. Asheen's going to run the ball pretty well in this game. I don't think that Carolina, that front that I saw last week against the Patriots, they can't stop anybody. And Chuba Hubbard's the running back for Carolina. He's questionable in this game too. So without him, I didn't see a lot of weapons out of them last week at Foxborough.
Yeah, I don't know. And that I agree with you on that. But the only thing is Carolina's home, and they do seem to step up at home. Let's go back to that one. I'm going to go back to that. We got Vegas at Indy. Indy giving Vegas 7. Obviously, I'm going with Indy straight up and with the spread.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's been running the ball great.
And
I know Danny Dimes finally lost the game, but they're 3-1. They didn't look
good.
They didn't look bad losing the game. Good point. So I'm just looking at Vegas. All right, Pete Carroll, he's chomping away. Geno Smith's kind of Geno Smith. And on the road here, I'm going to take the home team. I'm going with the Indianapolis here.
Now, the Colts could have won last week, by the way, if the kid didn't, showboat before he got into the end zone. So
weak.
He
owned it, but I mean that's tough. You play 17 games and your margin for error. You can't have mistakes like that. These guys are just gonna act like you've been there before.
I know.
I guess he's a rookie. He hasn't been there before, so I get
now
it.
He learned quickly.
He learned.
So we have the Giants at New Orleans. New Orleans giving the Giants 1.5. This is a tale. I feel like New Orleans. I feel like I have to go with because they're at home. The Giants, great. Jackson Dart, very impressive opening game, but I do think people will be on to him. I know it was his first game at home. I think they'll probably figure him out. And New Orleans, not as bad as
competitive. They play hard for their coach. I think it's Kellen Moore's the head coach. Used to be with Dallas as the offensive coordinator. I'm going to take the Giants, and then on the road, and of course, Dart gets his first win. Looked good with his legs. The only problem here is he's going to have limited weapons because obviously their do-it-all wide receiver Malik Neighbors is out for the season with a torn ACL, so that's going to be a real big play going forward. But I think they can win a couple without him.
All right, we got Dallas. Oh my, this is trash. Dallas at the Jets, and should we even talk about the tie? With the Dallas, can we just end a game with somebody winning?
I lose. Well, first
give a kickoff or something.
Well, first of all, do you want to go back to the old rules where you flip the coin and whoever wins the coin toss and you score a touchdown, the game's over? You okay with that?
No, I mean let's leave it to the kickers. Throw them back 50.
All right. You want to do 60, college? 70. You line up at the 20 or something?
Because I want a winner. I don't want to tie.
No,
I
agree with you. It seemed like it was going by really quick. I watched that overtime and I'm like, wait a minute, it looks like one possession for each team and they're gonna go for the tie. And Parsons again with the big mouth. He said the defense was terrible. Shut your mouth, okay? I know your team gave up 41. You're supposed to be a team player. Play better. I know he made the play around the side where he kept Prescott from getting into the end zone, which would have won the game. And I think they ended up with the tie instead. But that's a tough one. The Jets are 0-4. And I know Aaron Glenn's he's great in these press conferences, but at some point he's got to win football games. I'm going to take the Jets at home to finally win their first game.
To get cleaned up because they have any play that they do, they're holding 10-yard, intentional grounding, and Fields looked like is Fields still starting? Yeah. I would get him out as soon as possible.
You were big on him.
I know.
And
he sucked.
Panat keeps telling you, not that he thinks they're going to win games. He's a diehard. He said the roster's good. He's trying to say
they can't play together.
No, but they've been good. You've been telling me this. I said you've been rebuilding for a half a century. So you've been on this planet for a 50 bean. They haven't won anything since name it. Stop it now. But I'm taking the Jets in this one.
Can I kiss you? All right. So we got Denver at Philly. Philly giving Denver 3.5. Obviously I'm going with Philly because they're home and I'm going with them with the spread. Denver, I think is good, but I think if you had to categorize Bo Nix up against Drake May, and I know that he's had more success, I still think Drake May is better. I think Bo Nix is going to be exposed a little bit.
I agree with you, and I hope so, by the way, for our sake in New England. I have to go against Grant. I'm tired of just going chalk cities. Philadelphia, they win even when they don't play well. They find a way. Some of the experts, I saw some guys that know a lot more about football than I do. They like Denver this week. I'm piggybacking off of that and going Denver in the upset at Philly.
All right, very nice. Wow, that's a big one. All right, we have Tennessee at Arizona. Arizona giving 7.5. I'm going to Arizona. Figure it out. I don't know, Harrison, get another touchdown. Pay attention to your quarterback. Maybe they can be on the same page. But Tennessee's trash.
Yeah, they're just not very good. They're going to roll with their quarterback, Cam Moore, the number one pick in the draft. They're going to lose a lot of football games. They're definitely looking at who's the best. Well, they're not looking at the best quarterback in the draft. They're looking at the best player that they're going to get because they need talent all over the place. Right. They're bad. I'm going to take the Cardinals, and I believe that Harrison and Murray, something's off there, but they got to get it together, and I think they will.
I agree. All right, we got Tampa Bay at Seattle. This is a good game. Seattle giving 3.5. Seattle's been looking great. Tampa Bay. I love Baker Mayfield. I think I'm going to go Seattle because they're at home, but Tampa Bay with the spread. I think they always seem to keep it close.
Yeah, they do. And I don't want to say, I'm never going to say I love Sam Darnold, but I really like him now. I think he's kind of grown on me, and I kind of like that team. Mike McDonald, not McDaniel, done a nice job there, and I like that roster. They're coming together. I like the way Seattle's playing. Kid Walker, Kenneth Walker running the football. I like Seattle in this game. And on the other side for Tampa Bay, Bucky Irving, the running back, is out for 2 weeks. He's a big integral part of their offense. He's out for the next couple of weeks with a knee injury. So I'm taking Seattle at home.
All right, very nice. We have Detroit at Cincinnati. Detroit giving Cincinnati 10.5. Obviously going Detroit, and I'm going with them with the spread. I know it's a big spread, but I don't care because Cincinnati is.
Yeah, I believe that you're looking straight at me right now, and I can just see it in your face. You think, obviously without Burrow, they're complete garbage at this point. You have no faith in Jake Browning. I hate to speak for you here, but Detroit kind of like, I thought they would maybe take a step back this year, and they still may. But for right now, I like them in that division, and I like them on the road. They seem to play well on the road. They bounce back after tough games. They never seem to lose 2 in a row anymore. I'm going to take Detroit in this one.
Very nice. We have Washington at the Chargers. Chargers giving them 2.5. I forgot that I didn't think Daniels was playing last week. Otherwise, I would have picked them. But wait, they lost last week though, didn't they? Did Washington lose last week?
Yes.
All right. So I ended up picking Washington. Idiot. So Chargers, they're coming off a loss. Surprisingly, I didn't anticipate that from last week. I'm going with Chargers. I think they're going to bounce back and be all right.
Yeah, speaking of losing 2 in a row, Harbaugh usually doesn't disappoint me. He did last week. That was the game they lost to the Giants, correct? And I was surprised at that one. I don't care how that one plays out. No excuse for that. They've got a lot of injuries, the Chargers, but still find a way to get it done. This one at home against Washington, it's a coin flip because I still like the Commanders this year. I'm going to take Herbert and the Chargers at home.
All right, very nice. We have New England and Buffalo. We obviously said that we would love New England to win, but we believe it's going to be Buffalo with 8.5. And then tomorrow, Kansas City at Jacksonville. Jacksonville picking up a win last week against the only time I did pick San Francisco because Purdy was back. Obviously, I'm going Kansas City on this one. Jacksonville's getting 3.5.
All right, I'm just going to let you pick it. So I'm going to stay away from a selection on this one and just tell you that I'm happy for Liam Cohen that he's 3-1 and he obviously went to LaSalle Academy.
That's nice.
But you better have a lot of security. I know Skylar Thompson got rolled in London, you said earlier. It looked like Liam Cohen almost got rolled after the game when there was some animosity. And Robert Salah, who was a terrible head coach in New York with the Jets, was the defensive coordinator years ago at San Fran, went back there.
Yes, he's there now.
Have you seen him? He's been at the gym a few times. Okay,
yes, he likes to run the steps.
So somebody thought somebody was stealing signals. I don't know what it was all about, but I don't go there. So I know they usually come across like the midfield. And usually the head coach always has a posse around them. Yeah. You better have extra because he almost got rolled by Salah. I didn't like something, but I'm happy for Jacksonville that they're 3-1. And Travis Hunter, I did see a highlight where he made a nice catch over the middle, went up high, and of course I'll be keeping an eye on him. He's the 2A player out of Colorado. He played for Deion Sanders. I'm gonna let you. Who'd you pick in this one?
I'm picking Kansas City.
Yeah.
They look like they're back, and Taylor's album just dropped. I don't know if you heard. So I think Travis Kelce in his song "Wood" is going to do quite well. I do want to say this because I don't know. Jess just saw it for the first time, and I want to know if you saw it on social media with with Jacksonville. Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is the perfect combination of Carmella and Furio.
I like it. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
A picture of them together, and then you think of Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. That's their kid.
Okay.
And Sopranos fan.
I get it. Yeah. No, I get it. I see it. Yeah, I can resonate with it.
You can't unsee it.
Win games, Trevor. Win games. You're 3-1. I like the way they're starting. That could be a nice little developing story so far.
All right. Well, let's get to Godson's games of the week. Let's see how we do.
Let's go! Flag football! Godson's games of the week.
All right, so he's with you on the Denver wagon. He is going with Denver.
Really?
Getting, 3.5 at Philly. He's going with the Patriots, getting 8.5. That's the second.
He's been big on them this year.
According to Godson,
a few times.
He said Godson's going with 11 wins this season for the Patriots. He's like, if you break it all down, he's like, they should win. They're not going to beat Buffalo, but they should win pretty much everything else in the Chargers. They'll probably not win. So he's like, Take that to the bank. And
All right,
then
if he wins, I know he's your godson, so you can give him whatever you want. But if they win 11 this year, you can give him a T-shirt. I know you got some in the archive, and I know he's already got swag.
Oh, yes,
Do
of
what
course.
you want. I don't care.
I mean, that's how we pay him.
They're not bagging 11. I'm just saying.
All right, we'll see what
But
happens.
thank you, godsons, for believing in us.
Sunday,
That's sweet.
October 5th. All right. Well, he's a Miami fan,
Yeah.
so he has nothing to look forward to. And then finally, he's going with the Jets at home, getting 2.5. So in review, Denver getting 3.5, the Patriots getting 8.5, and the Jets getting 2.5. So he's going with all underdogs this week on Godson's Games of the Week. How do you feel about that? Good?
Yeah, I do feel well. How's he been doing so far? Now, let me ask you a question. Last year, I know it was a chalk, a foregone conclusion that when he put 3 or 4 games up, it was a parlay. Is it 3 games and you're at?
You can do what you want. He's just saying, like, if you want to bet, you could bet one at a time, or you could parlay it.
All right, I feel better about that now because it seemed like, last year, it seemed like they were parlays and it didn't go well. I'm just saying. So, I'd rather see at least he hit 2 out of 3. You know what I mean? It's not a parlay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can do whatever you want. Just knowing that if you were thinking about betting and you're like, I want to make my parlay and I need somebody.
He's telling you those are the 3 games he likes, whether they're together or by themselves in their own single entity. I
prefer to do parlays because I prefer to win more money. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it, by the way. I could have won. I had 7 out of 8 in a parlay. Thank you very much, Dallas, for tying the game because I ended up having.
Now, 7 out of 8. Did you have to pick the spreads too?
Yeah.
And you picked 7?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's
and then I lost Green
No.
Bay because I thought they were going to win by 7 and they tied.
That's why
the
the
game
house always wins. I mean, I'm just saying that it's tough to do what you did to even get 7.
I saw all the greens and then the one big red.
What would have been a nice payout on that one if you hit it?
No, I only bet $2 and I would have won 100 and something.
No,
yeah.
buck something.
Yeah,
I mean,
put that to the bank.
it's a little
Whatever.
dinner,
Again,
meal.
$2 gone. All right, we're going to thank our sponsors. We're coming back with baseball.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave in Johnston, and at neautobody.com. All right, we got 22 minutes left in the show, and obviously we need to talk baseball.
I mean, you know me. I'd love to give 22 minutes to the greatest sport in my life,
yes.
But I'm not giving 22 beans to this one, okay? I have a job to do.
Yes,
I'm going to
report the
I'm going to report on it,
yes.
Okay? I took it on the chin.
Yep.
I felt it. To me, I knew going into that series was like, obviously, you have to win. Let's just do the theme here for the whole 3 games.
Okay.
You knew that Crochet would have to win game 1, and he did. But by the way,
unbelievable.
Bases loaded in the 9th, nobody out against Chapman. I thought it was over there. So I'm like, all right, they're going to grab this one. Crochet's a legit horse.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just funny how within 3 days, everything can change. The narrative on a manager. You may still say Boone should be gone.
Yes.
But as of right now, he's in pretty good shape today.
Yeah.
But after that game, I'm sitting there even as a Red Sox fan. And I mean, this just goes to show how different the managerial stuff is, because we don't know what's going on behind the closed doors. Is it the guys upstairs saying it's analytics? How do you take Max Fried out 6 1/3, 99 pitches when they haven't scored a run off him?
Yeah.
At least go batter to batter if he gives up a base runner. He only brought him out for that 7th because it was lefty on lefty. They weren't hitting him. He was throwing that little 12-6 curveball that kept hitting the ground that everyone was swinging over. Red Sox was swinging it air. They didn't have a shot against him. But he couldn't wait to go to Luke Weaver in the bullpen, who gave it up quick. Crochet gets the job done. He turns it over to Chapman, and it's just a tale of two managers for that night where Cora gave Crochet a little bit more rope and let him go 117 pitches, the most pitches he's ever had in his career in a game. He's a legit guy. His last pitch to Wells was 101 on the black down at the bottom of the strike zone. So you saw that, and that night the Red Sox are feeling pretty good, and you're thinking Cora's a better manager than Boone. Everything's late. Life is good. Game 2, Wednesday night, that was the game I told everybody at the bar. I told everybody, Sox are going to have to win this because they don't have a pitcher for game 3. Yeah. I know you like Conley early. He looks like he's 11. He's going to be a good pitcher someday. But the Red Sox, Lucas Giolito hurt his elbow. Nobody knew about it. I told you his velocity was down in September. I knew something was off with him. But they pronounced him out for the playoffs, so he couldn't pitch game 3. So we knew we had nobody behind Bayo. Bayo proved that he's just
no good.
He still doesn't have it in a big game. So obviously 28 pitches, he hooked them. And I'm okay with that.
I thought that was a good call by them because I think he could have lost things. What was it? Two innings?
It was the third inning. He was early in the third inning. He had given up the 2-run homer to Rice early.
Yes, first pitch.
He didn't have it, okay? But he pulled them. And, I mean, Cora took all the chips, Jess, for game 2, and he was all in. And I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew game 3 you were in trouble, but you went all in for game 2. Garrett Whitlock out of the bullpen, 47 pitches. You knew you were all in for this game. He couldn't get the job done. And the Red Sox made a couple of mistakes in that game that could have turned things away. Could-haves and should-haves. Duran dove for a ball that he didn't have to die for on a line drive by Judge. You're fast. You didn't have to die for it, okay? He dies for a ball he didn't have to. He misses the ball. Then, of course, Kyle Hudson holds up Nate Eaton, the fastest guy on the roster. Take the shot there. Great play by Chisholm up the middle to dive and at least keep it from going into the outfield. But once the ball got away from Rice, you got to be sending him there.
Yeah.
You don't say, well, wait a minute, hold on, because there's 2 outs. You can't say, well, Trevor's coming up next. And, of course, by the way, Fernando Cruz, you gave up a 400-foot bomb to center. It was caught. You're going off the mound like you did something. Yeah. Stop it now, okay? You got the out, and I know you're excited, but, like, you didn't mow him down either. Rafaela couldn't bunt. I don't know how these guys make it to the majors without being able to bunt. The first one, he didn't even come close. The second one, he bunted up in the air back to the pitcher. These guys make the majors. They don't even know how to bunt, Jess.
Well, probably because they haven't done it in so long, really. I mean, you think about the beginning of the year, you do all like, hey, I'm going to bunt, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it for the rest of the year.
But I thought Cora actually managed. He did what he had to do. It just wasn't to be. And, of course, we all know what happened in game 3 with Cam Schlittler, who's terrific, the kid from Walpole, Mass, 12 strikeouts in 8 innings with no walks.
I know.
And the Red Sox never could make the adjustment. And it looked to me, I saw a few pitches that had a little bit of a wrinkle on it, but it looked like he was just throwing 100-mile-an-hour gas. It looked like all fastballs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, everybody gets hit with the fastball at some point. It didn't look like he needed any secondary pitches to get that Red Sox lineup out.
Well, my thing was did Boone take a cue from Cora and kept him in? Because otherwise, so that's what I'm saying.
And you could read his lip. You could read his lips. Well, after the 7th inning, he walked down the tunnel. He came out for the 8th, and he mowed us down. And then after the 8th inning, you could read his lips. He said, that's enough. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you one thing. He could have went out for the 9th, and I don't even know who pitched the 9th. I turned it off. And it's funny, on the way home, I was on the way home, and I heard Chapman on the mound. I've always told you this. There's no worse feeling for the other team. Well, there's no better feeling for the team that's winning.
Yeah.
When you see the closer come in when you're down 4, don't it? Like what I'm saying, they just put Chapman in to throw an inning.
Yeah.
There was no point in it. The game was mailed in. That's a great feeling because usually when the closer comes in, you're done.
Yeah.
So that was a good feeling for the Yankees. They knew they had that one. And like I said, right now, I think it's all about catching teams at the right time. Red Sox really didn't have I think the Yankees are better equipped to move forward. And I hate to see it, but I believe that they would give, the American League the best chance going forward. The Red Sox just didn't have enough. Conley early, I can't blame him. He was actually the first time through the order. He was actually not lights out, but he pounded the strike zone, mixing up a nice little mix there. Not as overpowering as Schlittler was. Mm-hmm. But, of course, the first play of the 4th inning, you got a fly ball to center. I don't know how deep Rafaela's playing, but next thing you know, it's Mo, Larry, and Curly. 3 guys come in. That ball's up in the air.
Multiple times, by the way. Wasn't it Abreu, too, that cut off? Like, what are they doing in the field?
Well, there was the play in the 8th inning the other night with Chapman on the mound when he came in, where they caught the ball, but it was dicey. And I found out today that Kyle Hudson, the third base coach, is also the outfield instructor.
He
didn't have a good day.
He's out.
Okay, you got guys, Abreu and Rafaela, there's no communication.
Isn't that the first thing you learn in baseball is to call it?
Yeah, and it's funny how after losing, Jess, it's like all of a sudden it's like, all right, Duran's going in the offseason. Bregman's probably going to opt out and not come back. There's so many things that could happen. It's going to be interesting to see what the offseason's like. But for now, I saw a lot of things I liked this year. 2 weeks ago, I didn't think they were even going to get in.
Yeah.
They made the playoffs. I'm disappointed, but it's a work in progress, and I hope Cora comes back next year. I still think he's the guy. I know I was down on him a lot this year, where I wanted him out, but it's not. I was reacting to like the losses that were mounting, and I just didn't like it. But they still got to clean it up. They're terrible on the bases. They don't play fundamental baseball.
Who was it, Sarsgaard or whatever like that? Who hustled? He turned the judge got the ball, and he was just like lollygagging game one to throw it in.
There's a kid that's a AAA ball player that was basically on the roster because of a couple of injuries with Roman Anthony out, and I'm not making excuses there. I know you did, Forrest. Thank you, but you can't make excuses. You play with what you have. And So Guy was the guy who hustled that play in the seventh inning the other night, and I thought Judge didn't dog it on that ball, but it didn't look like there was a lot of urgency on his
he didn't think he was going to do it.
He picked it up, and I know he's got a bad elbow, but he threw it in, and So Guy took the extra base. That's something I think Cora and the Brash talk about. Hey, if there's a ball in the right center field gap, we're taking a shot on Judge's on there, take the extra base, and then Yoshida drove the ball in. Yoshida was the only one who hit Schlittler the other night. He got 2 hits off him. Yeah. He didn't try to do too much. He was hitting the ball to left center. That's what you try to do when a guy's throwing 100 on the black. You just try to go the other way, try to make contact. But wasn't to be for the Red Sox. Yankees move on to play Toronto in a best out of 5 now in the ALDS, and I love the Yankees in this series only because Toronto, the Yankees are clicking, and Toronto's just banged up. Bo Bichette will not play in the series. He's one of the top. After Guerrero, he's your best player. So Toronto's going to have to patch it together. Gaussman's their ace, and he hasn't been good the last couple of games. So I think the Yankees, I'm seeing like a Yankee matchup versus like Seattle in the ALCS, because Seattle's going to face Detroit now, who had that epic collapse after being up 15 and a half games, lost the division to Cleveland. And then they go to Cleveland for a best out of 3 and they beat them. Yeah. And Skubal strikes out 14. He's lights out. So I think they run into a buzzsaw in Seattle with that pitch. And Brian Woo's been out with a pec injury, so I don't know if he's going to be back for the series. But with that pitching staff with Kirby and Gilbert and Luis Castillo, I think they have enough. And Suarez and Naylor in that lineup. I like Seattle. I'm looking at a Seattle-Yankee matchup for everything to see who goes to the World Series. But, of course, that's a story for next week as we get into it.
So let's go into the National League. Yeah. I was watching before the Yankees-Red Sox game. It was the Cubs and the Padres. Yep. And I don't know who the pitcher is. I think it's Wells or Wellen or whatever. I don't know if you watched any of this game. Yeah. So the Cubs are up 3-0. And then he comes in to pitch, like this is the top of the ninth. And somebody gets a home run. All right, so it's 3-1. Yep. And then he hits a player, so he's on the base pads. Then he hits another player. Then he puts 2 people on base. Yep. Then he throws it like he couldn't throw, like he had the yips or whatever. Yep. They took him out. And
was it Keller? It wasn't Keller.
Oh, it was Keller.
Keller was the one who finished the game, though. So obviously it wasn't Keller. It was somebody before him.
I thought it was a W. Like okay. I want to say it was Wells, but this guy looked like. Because it was at the Cubs Stadium. So everyone's standing up. They're like, is this? So then they bring up another, they had to bring in another pitcher because they had a man on first and second, 1 out. They're only up by 2 now at this point. They ended up winning. But I got to tell you, they brought in a guy that looked like Jason Kelce.
Okay.
Beard, kind of chunky.
The only highlight I saw after the game was when Bogart struck out, and I guess the umpire missed the call by a lot, and he turned and he could see him in the cam, in the helmet cam, and showed him like just distraught over, and he obviously lobbying for like digital umpires and all that next year and all that. But again, just the bottom line is the theme here is San Diego can't win in the playoffs. They're all in every year. AJ Preller made 14 moves. They can't win when the money's on the line. So San Diego goes home. And just of course in the other series you saw the Reds and the Dodgers. Ohtani hit 2 bombs the first game. He had 55 on the season, and he didn't have to pitch in the series because they swept. They knock out Tito Francona's Reds.
Judge should play, by the way. Judge should play more like Ohtani in the playoffs. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
No, this might be his October. We're going to find out. But the Dodgers move on. They're going to face the Phillies. That's going to be a great series. And, of course, Ohtani will start game 1 on the mound for the Dodgers. They got Blake Snell back healthy now. They got Glasnow, Yamamoto. The Dodgers are ready to make that push. I don't like their bullpen at the back. I think the Yankees will have something to say about that. It could be another rematch of what we saw last year with the Yankees and Dodgers.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that would be more of in the Dodgers. Godson would be very happy about that.
I've been believing that the World Series is going to come out of the National League this year. Like I said, I think the Yankees are the hot team right now, and they got something going on, they got a little mojo. But
I still love the Yankees.
What? One other baseball note, Jess. I called this one last week. I said Bruce Bochy, who led the Texas Rangers to the World Series a couple of years ago, he walked away and he's done in Texas, but didn't say he was retiring. There's a rumor that Buster Posey, who runs San Francisco and played for Bochy when they won 3 World Series back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, 2010, 12, and 14. he says he's not a candidate for the job, but this just makes sense to me. They fired Bob Melvin the other day. I see Bochy going back to finish his career with San Francisco. If not, I'm giving you a dark horse name for the next manager of the San Francisco Giants. I watched MLB every morning, MLB Central, one of my favorite shows, and he managed the USA baseball team in the World Classic. Mark DeRosa, he's Italian, played journeyman infielder for years, infielder, outfielder. I love the way he talks baseball. He's one of my favorites. DeRosa would be, and he played briefly for the Giants, got a ring with them on one of those teams. If it's not Bochy, I think it's going to be Mark DeRosa. That's my guy.
Very nice. Well, thank you for that public service announcement. And very nice. All right, so we only got 11 minutes left. So here's the thing: we want to let's just mention quick because we don't have enough time. That in basketball news, I called it 3 years ago.
You said Al Horford was going to Golden State. I mean, it was 3 months ago, but it happened. What did I give you like during the week? I text you something. You said you called that one. It was like forever ago. What was it? I don't remember.
When you called something?
Yeah, I called something.
It was Bardelli getting fired.
Rocco, I tell you. Yeah, so Rocco got a couple more years out of it.
Yeah,
I had him canned last year.
You had him canned multiple times.
Yeah.
But we do want to get into some WNBA news. It was a big story that happened this weekend. Nafisha Collier, she's out for the season. She was one of the MVPs, one of the highest players in the league, and she's out for the year with an injury. She going after the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, basically having a press conference saying that. Well, I'll let you hear it.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. Our leadership's answer to being held accountable is to suppress everyone's voices by handing out fines. I'm not concerned about a fine. I'm concerned about the future of our sport. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. We serve a league that has shown they think championship coaches and Hall of Fame players are dispensable, and that's fine. It's professional sports. But I will not stand quietly by and allow different standards to be applied at the league level. Thank you.
And good for her. You know what? Because I think it happens, and women like forever have been looked upon like we're paid less. We're all like, it's just, and it's just another thing that a woman that's running the commissioner of the league is acting just like a guy would. Like you would never hear this happening in men's sports. You watch every game and like there's a fight and then the refs are just letting people getting away with it. That's why people are getting hurt. And to say like the Caitlin Clark thing, the reason we're watching the WNBA, the reason you're watching the WNBA is because Caitlin Clark is there. Yeah. Pay these people the money that they deserve.
I almost feel bitter because Clark got hurt this year. And I think the Fever, they're in the final, or they were in the semis or something. They made the playoffs and they were in game 5 or something.
And
I don't even know
Sophie
I don't even know what happened there. But my point, I'm always going to defend Caitlin, but she said something about, the 16, she wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for the WNBA. She made $3.8 million last year at Iowa. I think she was okay before she even got to the league.
Right.
She is the league. So let's just stop there. Like, I'm going to defend that end of it.
Right.
But, no, a lot of good points made. And, there seems to be a little something going back and forth with the player and the commissioner.
Well, and I also think that it's frustrating that she would have to do that because of the way it was. I actually have another clip.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money. It isn't ratings or even missed calls or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders.
So I thought it was a great statement. I thought it was well done, and I hope they all get the money they deserve, and then maybe the refs will start learning how to ref.
Yeah, and listen, she makes a lot of great points. When you sent it to me, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I love sports. I didn't know who she was.
No, yeah, I didn't know who she was either, but she was the MVP of the league.
Okay, yeah, when? I mean, I don't know. I never heard of her.
But I know, but you also didn't start really watching the WNBA till Caitlin Clark. The whole point of the story.
I have been watching, and I still didn't know she was.
Because she's been hurt.
I just didn't know who she was. I'm just shocked.
Let's get to break.
Yeah, let's do it.
It is Sunday, October 5th. We have 6 minutes left, Dean.
I mean, this isn't GOAT category, but it's the next tier.
Okay.
Former Pittsburgh Penguins center Mario Lemieux is 60. Canadian Hall of Famer, obviously a center for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 3-time MVP, 17 years, 690 goals, 5-time scoring champ, 2-time, won 2 cups as a player, and 3 as an owner of the Penguins.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's like, to me, in my lifetime, when I saw hockey, it's Gretzky and then Lemieux. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
He's right there. Not Gretzky, but he's really close. That's how good Lemieux was. Moving on, this guy you definitely resonate with. Grant Hill.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
By the way, did I say Lemieux is 60? I said that.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't remember.
660.
I was just trying to think who it was.
Grant Hill.
Yes. He's so handsome, and I think he's younger. 54.
53. Okay. 7-time NBA All-Star, Olympic gold in 96. And of course, Duke, 91 and 92, back-to-back NCAA championships. Unfortunately, even though he did play, I think, 17 or 18 years in the NBA, he had some injuries where he missed seasons. He would have been a Hall of Famer type player. He was a Hall of Fame type player, but his best work was done, obviously, with Duke, playing in college with your boy Leighton, who I know everybody hates. I have one current NFL player who I think just his girlfriend just released, as you said, another album. Travis Kelce is 36.
Oh, wow.
8-time,
it's his birthday today?
Yeah,
boy, they're going to win big tomorrow.
8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champ, and he's part of some song named Wood. That's all I basically know about Kelce.
Yes, good job.
That's gaff.
Listen.
All right, shifting over to the entertainment side, the great Kate Winslet.
Oh, I love her. 55.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing to you because, I mean, listen, she still looks decent, but I wouldn't have had her, younger than us or younger than me.
Oh.
She's 50.
Oh, good for her. Yeah. She's gorgeous. I love
of course, I go Titanic and Mare of Easttown.
Yeah, and then she's in The Holiday, the movie that you didn't see.
Yeah.
Mare of Easttown is so great. I mean, she's in so many different things. I love her.
Yeah.
And I can't believe she was so young. Titanic is 100 years ago.
And I've got one release in 2001. Training Day came out.
Oh, wow.
With
Denzel.
with Ethan Hawke. And of course, he's Denzel's training Ethan Hawke, and he's kind of a dirty cop, and he tries to bring him down. So those are my birthdays and releases for October 5th.
Very nice. All right. So I got to put that on our list, Training Day. So Jess and I are doing this thing where we put in a bag, old movies.
Yeah.
If we have there's too much sports right now that are happening, but if there is we have an hour and a half, 2 hours, we pick a movie out of the bag, something that we did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, we did Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford. So we're doing old school movies, and Training Day should be a good one because I've seen it, but not enough to remember it.
You do Presumed Innocent, the show with Gyllenhaal.
Yep, that was good too. But oops, that was the wrong thing. That I can't remember the other one. There was one that was. Dean would be proud of this. I can't remember. But
do you ever watch? I know. What do we got? 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
All right. Do you ever watch something I watched another 8-episode miniseries that was on Netflix. You ever watch something and I can't really decide whether I liked it or not? I saw it through. I watched it. I don't like. First of all, you know me. I don't like anything supernatural.
Yes.
I don't like cults. Those kinds of shows.
Most people don't like cults.
I felt like this one. It was called Wayward.
Okay.
Toni Collette.
Okay.
Who's got an odd mouth. She's got something going on.
You're not wrong.
There's something in the teething area. I mean, listen, she's just not my cup of tea, but she's a good actress. But she runs this
did you say the mouthing area?
Yeah. It's weird though. It's just odd. It's odd. I don't know. But I watched it and I saw it through and I'm like, because I need to know how I feel about it so I can say Jess and go watch it, or my significant other. I'm like, I told her don't bother on that one.
I feel like you'd know if you liked it,
right?
Or not.
But my significant other told me she thought Black Rabbit was weak too. So obviously, all right, you don't like. I'm going Bateman and Jude Law. I was big on it.
A lot of people are talking about that, by the way. So you're not wrong.
Mixed?
No, everybody likes it.
Oh, all right, okay, so.
So you're right on that one.
And like I said, all my shows are back. So I've got, Chicago Wednesday. I've got Law and Order Thursday. Your boy's show starts next month. This month. We're in October already.
Woo!
So I got to get ready to Google that. And then Then on Tuesday
I
night,
gotta get ready to Google that. What are you gonna Google?
Tuesday night I've got Murder in a Small Town. Kiefer Sutherland's brother is actually the star of the show. And next week's episode will have the late Malcolm Jamal Warner in his last acting appearance.
Oh.
And Doc is also another show I'm watching on Fox. She got in an accident a few years ago and she can't remember the last 8 years of her life.
Yes.
So
wow, you
that,
got a lot going
and that's they have a new cast member. It would be Felicity Huffman, late of Desperate Housewives back about 20 years ago.
Felicity Huffman, and she's married to
So
William
H.
H. Macy.
Yeah.
Jess has been watching Shameless at night. We're
wow.
redoing that series.
Redoing it? I mean, I loved it, but I'm not redoing. I don't know if I'm redoing that one.
Yeah, it stresses me out a little bit. And let's talk about like you can almost smell them through the TV. Like I know that's they were trying to get it done.
Yeah, especially and then the COVID thing with the mask. And he's a great actor. There was some really really good. I'll tell you, especially Lip Gallagher.
Oh,
he's blowing up in real life. He's like
the only one really that
he's gonna play Springsteen.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's good. He's in that show The Beer.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that's good actually.
It stresses me out. You would like it because it's the restaurant industry. I do have to ask you about.
You said I like the restaurant industry.
No, because you would like it because you can relate to it because it's the restaurant industry. Lip talking. I can't think of his name right now, but what do you think of Bruce Springsteen? Are you a Bruce Springsteen fan? Because I am by far. No.
I've never been like.
Strange, straining music to me.
I marvel at his accomplishments. I've never been big on his music. I've never been a big fan of his. He did an episode of Curb with LD, and he had COVID in the episode. It was kind of weak. Okay. But no, I'm not a huge Springsteen guy. But he was great. I'm not into that hard. I'm not into that kind of music. I'm just not.
Yeah,
You seem like you don't like him for other reasons.
No. That's it. Right. No, it's just everything's strange when he talks.
He's a big political guy. He's got some stances on stuff. Okay, all right. I didn't know if that was
just
okay.
A lot of people love him and I don't get it. That's all it is. Yeah. A lot of people love us and I don't get it either. And that wraps up our show.
They're done loving us because we're done.
Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And make sure you get our podcast. You can get it on Spotify and obviously on our website. Till next week, go Pats.
I hope so.
I know. I hope so too.